Right, guys, welcome back to Norski TV. Thank you for coming on. You know why I've got you on here, guys. Today we're gonna call this podcast "What's Going On," and there's a lot of news coming out, or should we say, big news coming out. Big Frank, or some people like to say, I won't say it. I won't say it. But mate, you know, I was gonna talk about the weekend. Didn't really expect this news concerning Frank. David, what's going on, bro? Kofi, what's going on with Klopp? But let's deal first of all with Frank Lampard. I mean, I heard the news this morning. You sent me a WhatsApp saying there's a possibility that it could be announced today that Frank is going to be sacked.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, within a couple of hours, it was trending on Twitter, Sky News. Big Frank has gone.
Yeah.
Matt,
I mean,
what's going on, bro?
Look, end of the day, he is and will always be a Chelsea legend. He has won every trophy that he could have possibly won. So he's a complete true legend. He's a great professional. Mourinho's even said out of all the players he's managed, Frank Lampard, when it comes to professionalism, was number one. So, you've got to give him a lot of credit. And I think a lot of Chelsea fans still salute him and see him, as this big icon of our football club, especially across the years where we were winning everything, So again, he's got Champions League trophy. He captained us on the Champions League final. You can't say that he's not a great, true professional. However, when it comes to management, I think there are, it's completely two different job specs. As a player, you're playing with a team. You don't necessarily have to motivate the team. You're not relied to motivate the rest of the team members, Whereas as a manager, you have to rely on, a lot of it is relied on, him motivating players. And he wasn't doing so. On top of that, results weren't good enough. So regardless of whether you're a legend or regardless of whether, you played at the club and won X amount of trophies, when you are a manager, you've got to come and bring results. In every day, in all of our jobs, retrospectively, if we're not bringing in results or if we're not doing our day-to-day job, what is required in that job spec, our position is going to be looked at with, such scrutiny. And it's happened in this situation. It's unfortunate, but generally, I didn't think he was ready for the role. I think the role was too big for him, and I've been saying this for months. So I'm not jumping on the Frank out bandwagon over the weekend. I've been saying this for months now, from last season.
So
yeah,
when he was first appointed as manager for Chelsea, when he first came in, we're talking 18 months ago. I mean, he's obviously lasted 18 months. Yeah. What was your? I'm sure you had a different point of view concerning.
I'll be brutally honest. I was shocked that he was appointed as our first team coach. Whether I wanted him to do well or not, of course I wanted him to do well. So of course I had to back him because of his status, because of the love for the club that he has, and of course he's a young manager, so I'm gonna back him. However, I didn't feel that he was ready for the role. And like I said, you've got to look at results, and unfortunately his results just weren't good enough. Out of all of the managers that Chelsea have had over the past 20 years, he has the worst record. We've had a man like AVB, Mr. High Line, and playing John Terry with a high line. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he had no idea. We even had man like Scolari, who had no clue about, what it meant about club football. So we've had bad managers, yet he was the worst out of all of those managers. So
talking about managers, and the amount of managers that you had since 2003. Talking about, well, if you do get Tuchel in, we'll talk about him. If you do get him in, that's your 13th manager. 13th, unlucky number.
No, but to be fair, we've been doing that for years. Yeah, over the past 20 years, we've been changing managers, and it's worked. We win trophies year in, year out. Even under Sarri, we won the UEFA. I remember when we battered you lot 4-1 at Baku. So
we're not talking about that.
That's what I'm saying. we win a trophy.
No,
Under Conte. Do you know what I mean?
I understand your model. Yeah, your model is basically hire and fire, and that's what gets you your victories in terms of trophies, and that's why you're successful as a club. And I'm not going to lie to you, because Arsenal have got a totally different model. I mean, we're probably similar to Liverpool in terms of our model and how we sustain and keep our managers. But there will come a point and a time where you now need to say, boy, because it's a results business, yeah. And I think from the time that Abramovich came in, Abramovich came in from 2003. For him, it was results business. The man is playing his money in, so I don't blame him. And I get it. He was hired 18 months ago, and technically speaking, he came in hands behind his back. You had the ban, transfer ban. So I think looking at that, Abramovich gave him a chance, and to be perfectly honest, you've done quite well because you ended up finishing fourth. But then I think
we lost the FA Cup final, and for me that's not good.
But I don't think I wouldn't say that was the reason why. I didn't think at that point that Frank was on a downward spiral. No. Obviously, Abramovich has trusted him with £220 million to spend on players, and when you kind of spend that kind of money, you are setting him up to fail. I personally believe you are setting him up to fail, and it's just unfortunate. I mean, fortunately, I wish he would stay. I was hoping that he would stay because, mate, the way things were going. I mean, look, you're only 4 points off the top four, right?
But we were top. 7 weeks ago.
7 weeks ago, yeah.
You're
11 points behind Man United right now, and right now, Abramovich said it's not good enough. He hasn't got no hate against Frank or nothing like that, but it is a results business, and the money that you spent, you've got to do better.
Yeah, and I think, ultimately, I think what Frank or what we should have done. I think, to be fair, this is where I think common sense should have prevailed with Frank Lampard. When Chelsea came to him and said, "Look, we're thinking about making you our head coach," knowing we've got a transfer embargo, but knowing that after that transfer embargo, we're going to spend like crazy, and we had the Hazard money as well. I think he should have said, "Do you know what? Give me time. Give me another year at Derby. Give me another couple more years, and then I'm ready for the job." We went for Leipzig's former manager to become interim manager to take over Frank Lampard. He turned it down. You can turn positions down. If you don't feel that you are ready to take on a position, it's okay to turn it down. It doesn't necessarily mean you won't have an opportunity again. We've got an open door and outdoor policy at Chelsea. So I'm sure, looking at things and looking at the history of managers, he's been there when managers have come and gone. He would have known that, whoever comes in next, unless, we go on like a 5-year, winning streak, I doubt, the manager will stick on for that long. So there was always going to be an opportunity for Frank Lampard to be the manager of Chelsea Football Club. And I felt that he should have allowed common sense to prevail to say, "Do you know what? I'm not ready yet. Give me another year at Derby and let me prove and then I'll feel comfortable to do it." But I think he saw headlights, he saw the headlines.
I was going to say that. I mean, Kofi, what do you think of that? Because I think when the rumours started to fly, and all managers, they say, "I'm just focused on my job," and when he's at Derby, but deep down he must be thinking, "Yeah, man, I've got the top job." You know what I mean?
I mean, who wouldn't take that opportunity to manage one of the biggest clubs in world football? Yeah, I mean, they've been on world stage.
The biggest in London, yeah.
And, for Frank, I mean, the reputation that comes with, managing Chelsea, it's massive. And, it goes on his CV. So I wouldn't be surprised if he said, "You know what, let's do it."
I mean, it was a risk. But I think when he was taking over the job, I mean, he did say, "Look, he knows what the job entails. He's not silly. It's a pressurized job. But who wouldn't turn it? If you're a legend of a club and somebody comes along to you and says, it's a bit like Frank Arteta, but Arteta's not a legend of the club. Yeah,
no,
Arteta's not a legend of the club. So this is where I'm quite perturbed, because I'm looking at Frank Lampard, I'm looking at Arteta. We're 2 points behind you. We're sitting in the 11th place, right? Yet our club decides that they're going to stick with this guy. We've gone on one of the worst runs ever. Yeah, okay, we haven't spent as much money as you guys, yeah, but you know what I would say about your club is that your club acts like a big club. You don't take any messing. It's like, listen, if you ain't performing, you're out the door. Simple as. You've gone through.
Yeah,
it's
another
just
legend. Yeah,
and it's worth it. But Arteta's not a legend. Yeah, I don't look at him and thinking like if it was say Thierry Henry now that came in.
Yeah.
Then I'll be saying, oh boy, you know what I mean, I would be quite torn. But I have no affiliation to Arteta. The fact that he was a captain for our side, but he didn't rip up any trees. There's no statue outside the Emirates for him. You know what I mean? So that's another whole different thing. Like Frank Lampard is a legend.
Yeah.
And it's a results business, and Abramovich is going to wield that axe, and that's what he's done.
Yeah. But I think there's current trends where younger managers are given more opportunities than before, because if you see the likes of like Gary Neville went straight into the Valencia job, how much experience has he had in managing? And within a year, was it less than a year, he got sacked.
Yeah.
So there's this trend where younger managers are definitely coming in, and they're given more opportunity to get their hands and feet dipped in the deep end. So
yeah, I mean, you brought up Gary Neville, a classic example. I mean, he was one of these guys that was backing managers in terms of giving them a chance. Wenger, under the Wenger days, he would say you got to give him. Wenger's been with the club 20 odd years, but he would say give him a chance. He's not the sort of person that you're in for 2-3 years and then sack. Give them a chance. And I think this was the thing with Frank Lampard. I don't think he was probably given the chance for the money that he spent. But I get why Abramovich has done it, because he's looking at top 4. He only 4 points off the top 4. Maybe he felt that he hasn't got the tools to cut it to do it.
We lost seven Premier League games already this season. That's just not good enough.
How many games we lost?
No. So, but still, it's just not good enough. It is not. And I think with Frank Lampard, if he had waited, I think he would have been in a better position to take the Chelsea job, later on in his career. But again, look, he's white, he's English, he's not going to have problems finding another job. I wouldn't even be surprised if he actually takes the England job after Southgate and works with Steve Holland. I would not be surprised. But also Celtic. No, seriously, I would not be surprised based on his reputation as a footballer. I wouldn't be surprised.
He should go and take over Gerrard and go and take over the Celtic.
Gerrard, I think Celtic. I think he should. Honestly, I genuinely think he should. He should go to Celtic next, because he should go now, personally. And then he's got half a season to turn things around, and then he can regroup. Honestly, I genuinely think he should do that.
We joke, but talking about experience and managers, young managers, especially young managers, I mean, they need to cut their cloth, or and the thing about it, to do that, you need to obviously start at lower league and then work your way up. Now, the stuff that Frank was doing with Derby, you know what I mean? When you think about Derby, they've been in the doldrums for a long time, and then all of a sudden, Frank comes along, gets them playing nice football. I mean, he even got, Mason Mount and a lot of Tammy Ape, all of these players that he had on loan. He had a lot of Chelsea players on loan there.
A lot of Chelsea players, Tomori. He had the Liverpool youngster as well.
Yeah. And he done well, and of course he done well. He done well with Derby, and then they looked at that and thought, well, listen, this guy's working with limited funds. That was it. And they're playing attractive football. And then all of a sudden, things weren't going too well. Who did he take over from? Who was sacked? Who was the manager?
Is it Frank? Sorry, who?
For Chelsea. Who did he take over?
Oh, Sarri. Mauricio Sarri.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, they were smoking.
The tablets. Yeah.
But and the thing about it, when the news came and it was coming out, rumors that Frank is going to be the next in line for the Chelsea job, and in my head I was thinking, it's almost like a match made in heaven. But here we have it now. Yeah, hellfire.
Yeah, but it was too soon. Yeah, it was a match made in heaven, but it was way too soon in his career. He needed another year or two at Derby or another club. He needed to be proven. And for me, I would have even wanted him to manage a Premier League club. So, say for instance, if he did leave club, I would have preferred him to manage, maybe like a Fulham. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, or even a Villa, like that sort of,
or even an Arsenal. That would never happen. That would never happen.
No, of course not. But I think definitely he should. Next he's not going to struggle to get another job. I know that for a fact.
And I mean, you made the point of the I won't go there, but you did make a little point about, and that's a whole different thing with regards to black managers and getting on.
Yeah.
That's a whole different argument.
That's another
another debate. But look, he's gone. Do you think? Okay, if he will get another job, he will get another job. Do you think that's at some point he will return back to Chelsea as a manager? Do you think?
I think there's a possibility, based on what he does in his other roles. 100%, I think he could come back, because we saw Mourinho do that as well. Of course, albeit Mourinho did win a lot of trophies. However, I feel that because of Frank's football status, that could in fact bring him back at the club. So if he goes to other clubs, wins a couple trophies, maybe gets a promotion for another side, does well in the Prem, keeps them up, then I think 100% it will be. I'm sure Abramovich, he saw his message. It seemed very sincere. I'm sure he would want to see Lampard succeed and hopefully come back one day. I don't think that's a write-off. It's sort of like Conte. He's not suing the club. It's not like Sarri. He's not just been dismissed just like that without saying bye to the fans or anything like that.
The amount of money that Abramovich is probably paid out in compensation.
Yeah. Well, that's why they say with Thomas. Was it Thomas? Or the joke Thomas Tickle, but Thomas Tuchel. They're saying that he's going to be on an 18-month contract. That's what they're saying. So an 18-month contract. Yeah. Because I think we're learning that we're paying out all these managers. Do you know what I mean? We're paying too much. So I think 18 months is perfectly fine, especially for when we sack him after this.
Yeah, I was reading. I don't know if it was Conte. I must have been reading somewhere. I was seeing something like 90-something million.
What? 90-something million?
Yeah,
it was 9 million.
Was it 9 million?
Yeah.
That might be the total cost of compensation that Abramovich has paid out. But
yeah. No, Conte was 9 million because Conte had another year left in his contract, and he was being paid 9 million a year.
Right.
Yeah. So I think accumulation of compensation was 98 million. I don't believe we paid Conte 98 million. I don't think so. No, because he was on a 9 million a year contract.
It might be a combination.
Compensations. What?
Sorry.
Benitez.
No, Benitez was only 1 year. Benitez was interim, and he won the Europa League. Oh, okay. So Benitez, he only came in halfway through when Di Matteo got sacked, and then won the Europa League, and then
was Benitez sacked, or he just was appointed up until that point?
It was appointed up until that point. That's all it was. Yeah.
Right.
And then afterwards, that's when we got after him. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting the managers. Was it Mourinho again? Yeah.
Mourinho came back, didn't he? For a second spell.
Yeah. So after, that's true. Yeah. So after Benitez was Mourinho for the second spell. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it seems to work for you guys because you sack high on fire, and
Yeah, I'm excited though for Thomas Tuchel because for me, Frank Lampard, there was no identity. Yeah. So for 86 games, he managed us. I didn't see a sense of identity. I don't know what's Chelsea's style of play. Is it attacking football? Is it pressing football? Is it spreading out wide, getting it in the box? Is it defensive? Do you know what I mean? There was just no style of play. And was it counter-attacking? I couldn't identify that. And after 86 games, if you're not showing a style of play, then I'm sorry, then something's not clicking and something's not working. I even heard rumours about what's going on in the dressing room. He's not talking to players for months and stuff like that.
Yeah, I saw that. In management, I mean, a lot of the players were, they were saying, I mean, obviously it's been leaked out that, yes, he really got on with some players or didn't. He just kind of alienated them in terms of his tactics as well.
Man.
And I think that was being evident because when you played us in the FA Cup and played in the
league,
the league, you did say to me, which you have these premonitions. Yeah, you said, if he plays this way, we're going to lose.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm hoping that Dave will have these sort of dreams with Thomas Tuchel as well.
Well, I think that's gonna stop, honestly, because Frank doesn't have an idea. And I remember even his press conferences, after the end of the game, it's like, oh yeah, we didn't run enough. That's not being a tactical-minded manager. What's running got to do with it? So I think with me, Tuchel has that tactical mindset. I think he's going to get the best out of the two Germans, Werner and Havertz.
Yeah, right now,
he's got a good relationship with
Timo Werner. Hasn't scored in 16 games.
Exactly, and I'm sorry,
I missed a penalty against Luton.
Yeah, but I think Werner.
I like the way
you don't score. No. With Werner, you don't score a game every other game for 3 seasons in a row. Do you know what I mean? And then just lose it just like that. He was out on the wing for 6 consecutive games, and he came out and said, "I'm tired. I don't like playing out on the wing." Frank persisted. Yet we had Pulisic and Callum Hudson-Odoi on the bench. Again, It's just about man management was awful. Mason Mount playing 90 minutes 3 times a week. Come on, that's too much. Do you know what I mean?
Dave, that's all down to the fact that he's got his favourite players. Yeah. And it's quite evident that, you know, in the game against us, I mean, you was crying out for the winger to come on.
Hudson-Odoi, Hudson-Odoi,
you know, and just to get Giroud. Do you know what I mean? And he decided that he's going to play these players out of position, and I just didn't get it. And I thought it didn't matter to me anyway because we came up winners of that game. But it's just I do notice that against a lot of the top 6 guys, he's tactically not good.
He hasn't beaten a top 6 side. So this season.
So there you go.
Been a top 6 side. We lost to Everton, we lost to Wolves, we lost to City, we lost to Arsenal, we drew against Spurs, and we drew against Man United, and we lost to Liverpool. It's there. Proof's in the pudding. So.
It's mad. And I mean, you know, this Thomas Tuchel guy, I've got him down here. You know, he's managed Dortmund, and very much kind of reminiscent of Jurgen Klopp. Kofi. I mean, he took over from he went to what was the club that he managed?
Oh, Stuttgart. Was it Stuttgart?
Before he went to PSG, he managed the old club that Jurgen Klopp managed.
Stuttgart or Leverkusen.
No, Mans. That's it. Yeah, Mans. And then from there, so it's funny. He's kind of following in Klopp's footsteps. So he's gone from Mans to Dortmund, you know, and obviously now PSG. But what I'm hearing or what I've read is that he seems to fall out a lot with the hierarchy in terms of money and spend. He does have quite a fractious kind of relationship. You know what I mean? He's quite touchy-feely, you know, kind of like Klopp, with the players and everything, but he's very meticulous. What I'm hearing is very meticulous. They call him the professor. But it's just that how long I suppose if Abramovich wants to give him money, I mean, he spent 220 million, so he needs to do something with this team now.
I mean,
come the summer, is Abramovich going to spend again?
Nah, not like that.
You're going to expect Tuchel to get on with the side that he's got and get the best out of Kai, Watson, and Werner.
Yeah. I think he's more so given the task to get the best out of them until the end of the season, and then I think what they'll do is they reevaluate whether, because Peter Cech's been looking at speaking to agents of the new signings just to see whether they can be moved on. If they haven't progressed under Tuchel, I think we'll probably move them on and probably get some replacements in. But when you look at what Frank did,
you're talking about Havertz and Werner, that if they don't...
not necessarily them right now, but I just think he's speaking to, like, you know, maybe the likes of Jorginho, Emerson. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, players who aren't necessarily like freshly new, but they've only been there for 2-3 years now. But for me, what Frank Lampard did was great in terms of getting Pulisic, Havertz, replacing, you know, pensioner Willian and David Luiz and all that stuff. But for me, what was criminal was keeping Christensen and then loaning out Tomori. That didn't make any sense.
That was mad.
So, exactly. So decision making like that, I'm just like,
Well, we know the
guy,
situation.
you know,
You know the situation.
Yeah.
With Chris, you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, yeah. We know the situation there. You know what I mean? Is it the dad?
yeah, it's his dad. Yeah, he's got
Right. There you
to
go.
deal with the dad. But I think, yeah, with Tuchel coming in, definitely there's going to be progression. But I think he's going to have to work with the squad that he's got, and then maybe, you know, one or two players coming in and going out. All I do know is it might be over for the youth players and the youngsters, the likes of Billy Gilmore. You know what I mean? They might have to go on loan. Loftus Cheek,
Yeah.
I don't know if he's coming back or not now, you know, because he's not really. Dortmund, he did well, but he's not someone who's going to be playing Mount week in, week out, Billy Gilmore week in, week out. He likes experienced players as well. So I think some of these young players, it's going to be tough for them under Tuchel. But we need to move forward, man. We need to move forward.
He does want experienced players. I definitely read that about him, and that's going to be difficult. I mean, obviously, you know, he worked with PSG, and his win percentage was something like 74%. But then you are playing, you are
the Farmers League,
the best player in the world. So, you know, I would expect that. But it'd be interesting when he does take over Chelsea, how he fares, because as we all know, the Premier League is a tough league. To cut your cloth, and you know, managers have come and gone, players have come and gone. You know what I mean? And I think if he comes, you know what I mean, he may hit the ground running. But I think what you'll get is that what they call it, manager lift kind of thing from the players. Well, that's what you're probably expecting.
Yeah, but I think he's got to, because his first two games are Wolves and Tottenham. So we've got Wolves and Tottenham coming up.
Right.
So I think he's going to be expected to hit the ground running. Do you know what I mean? And then we've got Atletico coming up as well.
Wow.
So I'm more happy, though, going into Atletico game with him as a manager than Frank Lampard. Let's just say that. Do you know what I mean?
So just quickly before we move on to Liverpool and Arsenal and everything else, what sort of style do you expect? I mean, he's going to bring to Chelsea. I know they're referencing to playing that kind of rock and roll football. Kofi, you know well with Klopp. Do you think he's influenced by Klopp?
Yeah, there definitely is influence there.
But
whether or not, sorry,
Can you hear
audio.
Your audio.
For me, it sounds like
out?
You're like one of those monsters. Did you hear that?
Like a Dalek.
I can hear you clearly.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly. I don't know about you, Dave, because you're wearing try using external speakers, because I can hear Kofi clear.
Really? All right.
Yeah. All right, mate. Don't show off.
Oh, that's better. Yeah. Do you know what it was? You was literally. You was like, whoa. Yeah, that's how you was. That's how you sounded.
Some dodgy headphones. Now, what I say about Tuchel, Kofi? What do you think that he will bring to Chelsea?
Well, I mean, he definitely has his own mind in terms of his style and ability to get the team playing in the way he wants to. He tends to not get on with players as well sometimes. I think he has some issues in terms of his behavior off the pitch as well, which is going to be interesting to see with some of the team. Obviously, dealing with younger players. So it's not going to be as bad as having the likes of players who, they have a lot of influence along in the team. So we'll see how it goes with him. Obviously, he hasn't got that much time in terms of how he does perform and what can he put on the team. Obviously, with Klopp has a lot of time, and ideally, I think he probably will stay a little bit longer. But there's a lot of pressure right now. And, fire away those questions, because
do you know what's funny? Yeah, with Klopp, I mean, Klopp shouts at officials. You know, he marches up and down the touchline. He has a go at other managers, and they call it passion. But if it was another manager, they'll start writing how rude he is, how unruly. I don't like that favoritism. For me, I don't see passion. I see rudeness in Klopp. What he did with Sean Dyche,
It's not rude.
that was bang out of order.
Calm it down.
Nah, it was not bang out of order. Come on. There was an incident that was on the pitch that he felt that Fabinho shouldn't have got yellow carded for the tackle that was made on what? What's the guy's name? Barnes, yeah. So obviously the tackle from an angle looked it looked good, but then obviously he lashed out a little bit, which I mean that's understandable.
No, but Kof, he does it regularly, and I feel that the media go easy on Klopp. Anytime it's Klopp, they give him a pass. Always, trust me.
Mr. Lovey-dovey.
Yeah. Oh, it's all passion. He's just a passionate manager. No, it's unruly. Seriously.
Look, he is loved amongst the elite in world football. There's no doubt about that. You know that. I mean, when you look across all the managers in world football, his energy that he brings, even in interviews, you know, people. How can you not love him?
What? The guy's he's rude. For me, I find Klopp rude anyway. Like just his antics on the sideline. You know, he's doing it for the cameras. You know, but he knows he can get away with it. Because any other manager, trust me, they can't. They can't.
All right,
do it now.
all right.
So you tell me some of the things that Mourinho has done on the touchline when he was Chelsea manager is not rude.
It's the same thing that Klopp's doing now.
No,
That's
but
what I'm trying to say.
Even worse, like 20 times worse than everyone else.
That's what I'm trying to say is Klopp does what the likes of Mourinho, likes of Conte have done. What? Sorry?
But they call it passion.
Yeah, exactly. They do.
To me, it's passion. It's passion for the game. It's passion for his team. Because, you know, we've been successful look at the last few seasons. We've been very successful. So he wants everything from the team. And he wants that to reflect on and off the pitch.
Let me take you up on a point, Kofi. Let me take you up on a point. We've nicely gone on from Chelsea to Liverpool. And you say you like Klopp's passion, you like his identity, you like his personality in that, but things ain't been going to plan. There's talk that this is probably the worst club side to defend a title. Yeah, in terms of your performance. And let me just give you some, well, let's say stats. Okay, so I'm just looking at the Premier League table and all games of competition. Thankfully, you scored in that game in 2029, but you still lost it and you're now out of a cup. Yeah, there's a chance that you might not get a trophy this season. Okay, so your Premier League, as it stands, is in your last 5 games. We spoke about it last time. You've out of 15 points, you have a maximum of 3 points. Yeah, 3 points. Yeah. Now you said that you like Klopp's personality, but things don't seem to be going too well on the pitch. Are you starting to lose faith with Klopp?
I wouldn't say I'm losing faith.
Can I ask you one quick question? Yeah, when I was on the phone to you, when I FaceTimed you the other day, yeah, you nearly smashed up your TV. Can you explain that?
No, that was Origi's chance, and because it was open goal, and he decided to put power and curl it into the top corner. That was unnecessary. He had so much time and space to, just slot it past the keeper. And that was what made me so mad. It wasn't the fact that with Klopp or the team. There was moments with the team that I thought, come on, where's the ideas? What's going on?
Okay.
Trent as well has been poor.
Kaya, Cole.
I saw a tweet actually the other day, and it said Liverpool has much history as Blackburn Rovers when it comes to winning the Premier League.
Yeah, but everybody's jumping on that because remember we hadn't won the title for 30 years, so it's first season defending the title, and you know.
Well, that's what I said. You've got as much status.
That's your history. That's your history.
Yeah,
David, we have to wait until the season finishes before we start talking like that, because we have come from a team who have been World Club champions. We've won Champions Leagues. We're still in competition. This is not just history. Arsenal have you won Champions League? Sorry. And
what? Listen, guys. We're not here to pander each other, yeah? We're this is facts. All right,
we're out of the FA Cup. And you know, it's probably not the ideal time to be playing someone like United. And then next game we've got Tottenham. But you know, we're still in competitions. We're still in Champions League.
You still haven't answered the question. Do you have faith in Klopp?
I do have faith in Klopp. And the team, everybody has backs against the wall situations, and the team will come through. There's a lot of rifts going on within the team that within the club that the owners are being tight with their pockets, which, you know, that's been there from day one.
Yeah.
They're not renowned for dashing out huge sums of money to back their clubs or associations, and it's telling because, you know, we've missed out.
Klopp is starting to make noise now. Klopp is starting to make noise now.
Yeah, we've missed out on a number of perfect signings that would have helped the team to push on. And
I was saying to you the other day, you should have, as soon as you lost Van Dijk, all right, I think, well, the window had closed anyway, so it would have been difficult for you.
But the problem was we got rid of Lovren, and
so you
we
needed
should have bought an extra centre back at that point in time.
Yeah.
We got rid of Klavan, and Klavan is a Klopp signing.
Right.
And yeah. And, you know, if you're not replacing Lovren or, you know, Klavan, then what's going on? You can't just feel as if you can get through the season with, you know, centre-backs that have been at full pelt, playing game after game.
But, Kof, for me as well, you can play the defence, but you guys haven't scored for 4 games. Now, in the Premier League, that is, and you know, you've got arguably one of the best front 3 players in the world collectively. When they play together, they are one of the best. So you can't just be blaming the defense because you guys aren't scoring at the other end.
No, but I've never said I'm blaming the defense. I'm just explaining the issues that, you know, had not been addressed, and you know, probably also within the front line probably could have been addressed a bit better as well, because obviously if you're not looking to get extra reinforcements in those particular type of areas, then it's going to be telling down the line. And Liverpool are now starting to be affected by that because obviously
that's one aspect, but also Liverpool are starting to become very predictable. They're starting to become very predictable, and especially against teams lower down, you're finding it very difficult to break them down. Liverpool thrive on space, and remember, your creativity, I was saying to you, your creativity comes from your wing backs, Robertson and Trent. Those players, especially Trent, has dropped off big time. Actually, he's come back from an injury and everything, but he dropped off big time. And then, as David said, your front 3 just ain't scoring. They just ain't scoring. And Klopp doesn't have a plan B. Would you agree with me?
There is issue that he doesn't have a plan B, but I bring it down to also there's tactics and also the playing style as well, because the players are playing a full pelt every game, and you can't expect them to be 100% all the time, and they're going to have a drop off. And this is the period in time where you're seeing drop off in all of them, and it's affecting.
Yeah, but I was going to say this is quite history is repeating itself, because he did this in Dortmund as well before he came to Liverpool. So I feel that Klopp's style of play is great for a season and a half or maybe 2 seasons, but it doesn't have longevity, and I think it just wears off, and I think that's what's happening now.
To maintain that intensity for 3 seasons plus. Yeah, remember you guys hadn't lost that. I mean, obviously, Chelsea have probably got the best record, home record, but then you guys up until Burnley come and took you apart. Yeah, you had one of the best home records. You hadn't lost it nearly 3.5 years.
Yeah,
it was going on 3.5 years. Which is, I mean, it's testament to the whole team. It's testament to the efforts and the work with Klopp and his style. But at some point, you have to really look. You have to really look.
He's got to.
The players are really getting tired. They're really getting fatigued. And definitely, you have to say that players have their how do I say, their dipping points. If you take any particular player as a stock, he's going to have points where he's going to retrace. And in this current footballing time, it's difficult to maintain that level for a certain period of time. You will have drop-offs, and all of them are having drop-offs as we speak.
Yeah. But I think your squad, I don't think you've got like the squad depth as say like Chelsea or Arsenal. Yeah. But your first 11, if all your first 11 is fit.
Yeah.
But then saying that, if Van Dijk and Gomez, was fit, do you think that Liverpool would be in a better position?
You know what? It's difficult to say, because I analyzed it myself, and I said, okay, start of the season, we didn't really start well in terms of, we were leaking goals. And, obviously if Van Dijk and Gomez were still there, maybe their performances would have picked up, obviously first few games and things like that. But at the end of the day, the front three, from midfield to front three, you're always going to have consistency later on, because the engine room is from that area, from midfield to front three. And, they're working their socks off, trying to maintain ground all over the pitch and to try and manipulate in areas where they can be effective. And, I see that Firmino probably will be replaced at some point, or maybe Salah definitely needs somebody else.
He's been making a bit of noise, isn't he? Sort of like, obviously the contract situation. He wants more money. Yeah. Liverpool going to kind of pay that sort of money. I mean, I don't know what he's on at the moment. Is he probably the highest paid? Is he the highest paid player there?
For Salah.
Salah, yeah, Salah. Is he the highest paid?
He's the highest paid at the moment.
How much is he on at the moment?
It's about 220 or so. 220,000.
Wow.
Wow. How much more money does this guy want?
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's about money or it's about he's seen the opportunity of he can go and challenge for Ballon d'Or with the likes of Messi and who else?
Mo Salah can.
Mo Salah.
I believe he feels he can.
No, I'm asking you.
No, I mean, he's still got a long way to go to be challenging for Ballon d'Or. But
What old is Mo Salah now? 29?
No, he's 30 now, isn't
He's 30.
he?
Yeah.
yeah,
He's a long. There's nowhere. So you're saying that he will probably go to somewhere like Real Madrid because that's the only team.
I'm thinking he wants to, but then if he really looks at the current climate of trending leagues, Spain is not really trending at the moment.
No.
And for him to go to a Real Madrid, that the side they
probably
definitely
can't
going to be on a downward trend, and the players are now passing their peaks. And who's he going to play with? The youngsters?
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. But why would you then? I mean, at the moment, the situation in Spain, anyway, with regards to the finance. I mean, literally, Barcelona, Real Madrid, they can't buy players. They just can't. They've got the money because of the pandemic and everything.
Mm.
So there's no way. If he was, you think about what sort of money Mo Salah would be going for. There's no way Real Madrid would be able to afford him. I think if this pandemic didn't happen, I think Mo Salah would have probably gone in the summer. Yeah. I think he's obviously hanging out for a bigger payday. He wants a bigger payday. I don't know what his relationship is like with his teammates. I mean, on the pitch, he's got to be the most selfish player I know.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, against Liverpool, the Liverpool game, classic. I mean, the chances that he had to pass to Mane.
But that's the thing. There's another level of competition between those two because both are challenging for African Player of the Year constantly.
At the expense of scoring an easy goal. I mean, he picks up the ball in the box.
The guy wants to be top scorer every season. Come on.
But he's not a team player. He's not a team player. You know that. He's not a team player. Mane's a team player. He's not.
Yeah. No, but if you look at his statistics in even last season, he created chances for other players. He was one of our top assisting players. So we can argue and say
he was probably passing to himself.
Yeah. Was it a rebound? Yeah.
Yeah.
No. He did create some good chances for other players, and you have to say yes. There are opportunities where he's taken where he could have looked at a better pass, or he should have taken a shot. And sometimes that really frustrates me because when you look at the likes of Manchester City and how they play and how they distribute the ball, it allows them to score more goals. That's why they're continually scoring more goals season after season.
Mm-hmm. But I still put it down to the fact that Liverpool have been worked out. They play one way. I suppose Man City also play one way as well. But I think there's just got more skillful players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got. I'll say before. They got lots of number 10s. Yeah, that know how to keep the ball.
Yeah, they have a lot of attacking issues, which Liverpool are, obviously lacking, and probably we need a few more playmakers in between lines.
By the way, guys, host the FA Cup after taking the reserve lead over Spurs. The second half is underway. So Wickham is, I think, 1-0 up at the moment.
Are they?
let me just check this. Hold on a second. I'll
double check, please.
Double check, man. Oh no, it's 1-1.
Oh no.
Gareth Bale. So Gareth Bale scored in injury time before they went off today. I think it's half time at the moment.
It's half time, yeah.
The game is starting back. Or it's just before half time, I think.
So wait, will Arsenal have Spurs in the next round?
We're out.
Oh yeah, you are. Oh.
Sorry. Thank you. Yeah, don't go there, mate. I know you. That was a bit of a dig there. That was a bit of a dig.
Yeah.
No, I mean, look, Kofi, if you're still there, I think you've disappeared.
Honestly,
I don't know where he's gone.
Oh,
but
okay.
I mean, whilst hopefully he'll come back. I think what I was getting at is that, do you think with the style that, or the way that Liverpool are playing at the moment, do you think that they're going to be able to regain a title, or do you see them finishing in the top 4? Because after, I mean, they go to play Tottenham next. They got Tottenham in the next week. That's going to be a tough game, and I think by the time they play and all the other teams play, they could actually be round about 8th. They could be round about 8th. So I don't know. What do you reckon, Dave?
Yeah, is that?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I thought it was
Kofi.
So Liverpool could be 8th, right?
Well, yeah. After they lose, if they lose against Tottenham, and I mean, if the way things go in terms of West Ham winning their game, I think Aston Villa winning. There's another club, they could actually drop down to around 7th or 8th. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think it could definitely easily happen because they're not playing the style of football they were playing last season or season before. So it very much could happen like that. And I think I wouldn't be too surprised either. We've seen the shock defeats, when they got absolutely battered by Aston Villa, and they haven't scored in 4 games. So it shows that they're not that formidable force that they have been over the past 2/3 seasons. And Klopp is being found out now. Honestly, and I was even saying this to Kofi, I think Klopp probably will stay until next season, end of next season, and then I think he's going to bounce. I was also thinking that if Gerrard wins the Scottish Pub League, which I think he will win it this season, and then goes on to play Champions League football next season and does all right, I then think he will be lined up for the Liverpool job to take over Klopp at the end of next season. That's why I think it would work out. Yeah,
I think it's too soon for Gerrard. I think there's still enough in there for Klopp to say, no, you have to hear me out. I think there's still enough in there for Klopp to say, you know what, I want to stay a little bit longer. If he gets back in from the bosses, if he doesn't get back in, then he by all means he should leave.
I think by next season, Gerrard will be well equipped for that. He would have been in his 5th season managing a good, decent club, obviously. I wouldn't call him a top club. But
how long has he been managing Rangers?
2 years already. This is his 3rd season. That's what I'm saying, yeah. So I think he will be more than equipped to take over Klopp end of next season.
He's currently 23 points clear of Celtic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's going to win the league. He's going to win it, trust me. Next season, Slippy G. Yeah.
The thing is, like, it's going to be similar to, I can't say similar to Frank.
No.
Transition. But it's going to be a big task because, like, for example, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming to United, even though he's had experience in European clubs.
Normski. Let's not even bring Solskjaer in, please, because right now they're just But honestly, let's not talk about it. But Normski,
he's had about 20 lives, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Lives, man.
Yeah. Do you think Gerrard will, by the end of next season, he'll be ready for Liverpool? Honestly. No, Normski.
I think he needs a couple more seasons.
Yeah, Normski, I'm asking you.
By the end of next season, I think he needs a couple more seasons. You can't just throw him in deep end like that.
Look,
I don't think that's deep end, honestly.
Klopp even himself has said that, he thinks that when he steps down, that Gerrard will be the next one.
Gerrard will take over. Gerrard will take over. I have no doubt about that. But to say end of next season, I think it's still a little bit too soon.
Kofi, he would have been managing for 5 years.
Yes.
At the top level.
Still, I mean,
that you can't say that's too soon, Cole.
No.
I mean, listen, Arteta, right? I mean, we haven't even come on to Arsenal, right? Right? We're a joke right now. So listen, 5 years, Kofi. Listen, 5 years. He's got enough under his belt.
Yeah. He does.
And I think they are preparing the way for Gerrard to come. Because you remember, he was managing before he went to Rangers. Remember, he was managing your under 21s or under whatever.
Yeah.
So he's got quite a lot of managerial experience under his belt.
Yeah.
Arteta hasn't. He's just been picking up the coals and putting out giving them out big, right? I'll come on to him in a minute, yeah? But I'm just going to say, with regards to Klopp and the situation with Liverpool right now, yeah, things are not going well on the pitch or off the pitch, yeah? The little rumblings going on with
John
Mane,
Dyche and Mane, yeah.
and Salah, you know, Klopp now kind of coming out and saying that no, he's not getting the backing from, you know, the owners and so on and so on. You've got a team now that's aging. Yeah, if you think about it, you've got a team that's aging now, and there needs to be some investment definitely in the summer. Because he even came out, I think it was last week, he was saying that there's no money, he has no money to buy, he has no money to
But this is the issue that I have. This is the issue that I have with the owners, because they prioritize their money in their franchises in the States.
That's the same with Americans. It's the same with us. Look at Stan Kroenke.
It's not good enough. It's like we're at the back of the line, and you know all the money that we've profited from the Premier League has gone into their investments.
Yeah. And the only way you guys were able to sort of fund like your transfer dealings was the fact that you sold Coutinho to, and that's what you're kind of living off, Coutinho. And to be honest, I said it in the last thing, I don't know if it was your podcast, is that Liverpool has this knack of selling players that you've never heard of and getting really good money for them.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the player that's gone to Sheffield United. What's
Brewster.
How Liverpool do that? I don't know how they did that. Honestly, I don't know how they did that.
So you're very good in terms of whatever, but now if you're coming to the point now, your resale values for some of your players, yeah, Firmino should have gone. You should have sold Firmino last summer, yeah, and got some decent money for him. He's now coming. What is he going to be? 29, Firmino? Not firing as he is. Oh, obviously you got Jota in. We spoke about Jota. He's coming back from injury. You got Thiago Silva. Not Thiago. Yeah, Thiago Silva.
Thiago. Thiago Silva's the defender at Chelsea.
Oh, sorry.
Alcantara.
Yeah.
He's what was he? 29. He ain't gonna get.
He's 30 now.
You've got a lot of players that are now sort of
James Milner as well.
Milner.
Yeah.
Well, he's gonna be there until he's 50. Yeah. Yeah.
Good old strong Billy.
I mean, in general, he's having some dodgy moments. Alisson, not as secure as he is. Make a couple of dodgy kicks in there.
Trent has been found out now.
He found out he can't defend.
Can't even cross.
They're
be the first man.
They're actually talking about maybe moving him into the midfield because he was a midfield player.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff that you got to think about, especially come the summer. Yeah. And I think it's being borne out now. Yeah.
But then I honestly believe that the talent is there, but they just need to use their intelligence a bit more on the pitch.
I just think it's just tiredness, man. They've been going. They listen.
No, because if you really look at the games and how we structure our attacks, it's too much slow build-ups. And when you're playing against teams that have defensive lines, they're gonna set themselves up, and it's gonna
but Kofi, the reason why they're playing slow, you got to think about everybody's in the same boat. There's been a lot of games that have been congested or congested. Yeah. So everybody's playing games in close succession. Yeah. So everybody's in the same boat. But I think the disadvantage with someone like Liverpool, because they play at such a high intensity, they're gonna feel it even more because the games come thick and fast.
Yeah. But the thing is,
they don't preserve their energy.
This has been a trait of Liverpool since Klopp has taken over.
What? That they play slow.
Slow build-ups.
Oh, get out of here!
If you really
have you seen what?
No, seriously. If you really analyze Liverpool and when they score a goal, it's within the 20th and 30th minute of games, and I've looked at this statistic for the past 3 seasons.
All right, we might be okay. I'm looking at it in context of how quick they move the ball from back to front. So it's not about. I'm talking about the speed of play, and I'm talking about the intensity. Okay, they might take a long time to score because they may have loads of chances and they can't break things down. But in terms of how they play from the back to the front, mate, listen, it's rock and roll football, man. They move the ball quick. It's just that they're not, especially this season, they're not getting their chances or not even getting any chances. So I would put it down to the fact, and what I'm saying though is that their football has slowed down a bit because you remember they're playing at such an intensity. Yeah, it's the same like Southampton. They play at intensity. Yeah, they started to tire in the second half when we play because we play slow. We conserve our energy all the time, but nothing comes in it. Yeah, the Southampton game. Yeah, we started to come in the game 60 minutes into the game, and then look what happened. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We didn't have the players like Nketiah to finish it. William, joke. Yeah, hold my hand up again, Dave. I hold my hand up, bro.
Yeah, I did warn you. I warned you. Yeah.
Come down the drain, mate. We're coming on the Arsenal because we ain't got long left. We're coming on the Arsenal.
Yeah.
We need to come on the Arsenal now. Listen, Kof, what I would say is you got a massive game coming up this week. Thursday against Spurs. How do you think you're gonna deal with that game? How do you think you're gonna sort of?
Well, it's difficult to say. It might be a draw.
You was talking a couple of days ago because you said that you got their number.
Yeah, well, we got to score the goals.
Eyebrows, bro. Those eyebrows, man.
Yeah. So it's going to be a tough game. Obviously, Spurs are going to have the same setup as United, and we're going to see a lot of breakouts. But we've got a team to break them down, I believe. So we'll see.
You're going for a draw, yeah?
I want to win, obviously, but
the first thing that came at your mouth was a draw.
It's probably going to be a draw. That's the confidence is low.
What's your head telling you?
Draw.
And what's your heart telling you?
3 points.
Right, just before we come on to Arsenal, I just talked about the form. Right? Now, obviously, Liverpool's form, as I said, in the last how many games? What did I say? 3 points out of 15. Chelsea, because quickly, 3 points out of 15. No, 4 points out of 15. And then, surprisingly enough, now where you think this is a role reversal here, Arsenal, 11. Wait, let me just put my glasses on right there. 12, 13 points out of 15.
Wow.
Right?
You've had a good run though in the Premier.
We've had a good run. Yeah. But I'm still Arteta out. Okay. Right. He's not, for me, especially after that FA Cup game, the side that he picked. Yeah. Right.
But he hasn't had a full season yet. That's what I don't understand. Arsenal fans that saying Arteta out already. Like, I understand Unai Emery was there for too long. I get it. But I feel that Arteta came in halfway through the season. This is his full season. Maybe after this full season, if you still haven't seen any progression, I can understand you saying that. But I don't feel that you should be saying that right now. And you've had a very good turn it around.
You want is just for Arteta to stay because you know that we're in for another rocky road.
No, I'm being honest because he hasn't had a full season yet. He came in halfway through the season, and I think give him until end of the season, and then you can make your stance of whether you're in or out with him. I genuinely believe him turning things around. That's a good thing. But honestly,
look, I'm not gonna lie. I'm happy that we've turned things around for now. Yeah. But remember, our next game is Southampton away. And we've got Man United at home, right? We've got 2 games. Now, I don't know how we're going to fare. Granted that Southampton did play most of their first team. And we decided that we were going to make 7 changes. We were going to play the likes of Pepe. We were going to play the likes of Willian, who don't contribute to the side. Nketiah can't hit a barn door. Do you know what I mean? Gabriel, obviously Gabriel was a little bit rusty. But he's come back. The defender, Bellerin at right back. He decides to play. We replace our left back, because Kieran Tierney didn't play, so he decides to play his Suarez on the left. He can't kick with his left.
Yeah, he can't.
So
that was weird.
I think the way we defended the FA Cup, we went out with a whimper. Do you know what I mean? We started to come in the game when Partey and Saka came on, but I just felt that it was too late. And Southampton just literally sat back and just defended well. Yeah, they've defended well. And Arsenal are a side that we find it difficult, or I would say up until this point, we was finding it difficult to break down sides, especially sides with the nice word low block or parking the bus. Until, we accidentally fell upon Smith Rowe, who we know has been playing for the team for how long, decided that he was going to bring him in, link him up with Saka up front. And look what Smith Rowe is doing. I don't know what your thoughts are on Smith Rowe in terms of how he's changed the way Arsenal are playing at the moment. As soon as he's out of the side, Saka's out of the side, we go back to Arteta, sideways, backwards. I mean, you've seen it.
Yeah.
Backwards. It's boring. David Luiz picks up the ball and it's just
slows it. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's really horrible to watch, man. It's like watching paint dry.
Yeah.
So even though our form is good right now, anything can. We're consistent, but I can see another dodgy moment coming where we go on another bad one.
Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. I think there's potential of that happening. I think Smith Rowe is a really good player. I think he will become one of the top players if he continues playing. I think the risk of maybe Arteta going is that whoever comes in might not necessarily want a big signing. Do you know what I mean, to replace Ozil? But I think for now, I think Smith Rowe is definitely
coming from Real Madrid.
Yeah, I saw that. But I would prefer you to continue playing Smith Rowe. Remember when we had
that's what
we had the chat, didn't we? And I said, I think you guys need to start playing the likes of Smith Rowe and Reece Nelson and Saka and whatnot. And he started doing that, and then Smith Rowe's kind of changed.
Yeah, we started
Smith Rowe. Yeah, and you start because you were always missing that number 10, and I felt that he can play that role. But in terms of
he's a different number 10 to say your typical Ozil, because what Arteta wants from the side is that everybody to work hard. Yeah, and so that's what Smith Rowe does. I mean, I saw in a few games where the guy was going getting the ball deep, running with it, making things happen. Or if he was in the last third, then him and Saka were linking up with those little 1-2s. You know what I mean? So it was all over the pitch, and that's what I like. I like his work rate, but he was injury prone. But so far, he's been okay. He has been out a lot of times with injury, so we need to protect him. And maybe Arteta bringing in this guy, Martin Odegaard from Real Madrid on a 6-month loan.
Yeah,
possibility that, because I think Odegaard is saying that he doesn't want to. He wants to leave, but I think with what's happening with Real Madrid and their aging players, they're going to need young players to come through. So I can't really see them letting us have him like on a permanent, but you never know. We'll just see in the summer.
What's interesting with Odegaard, he's been at Real Madrid for like 4 years now.
I know, but
and he's just been on loan, and then they've just started using him past 2 seasons.
Well,
he hasn't really broken through. I don't know.
No, he was on loan to Real Sociedad, and he did well under them. Got them to 6th place, and he was an outstanding player there, getting, I think it was something like 7 assists or 9 assists and 7 goals, something like that. But the problem is look at the players that he's got to move out of the way.
Yeah, true.
So that's why he's not getting the time. So it's a thing of like, once these players leave, then he's going to make room for him to come through. Yeah. I mean, I think the way Arsenal are going now, I think we seem to be going down the route of getting young players in.
One thing I think what is troubling Arteta, or why you guys might not have such confidence in him going into the latter part of the season now, is that he hasn't really identified who his best 11 squad is yet. I think that's the problem. Do you know what I mean? I think maybe until he picks his best 11, says this is my best 11, I'm going to play these guys week in, week out, I don't think he's going to have the Arsenal fans behind him fully like that. What would you as an Arsenal fan, or would you question, do you think you and alongside the majority of the Arsenal fans would be able to pick your best starting 11?
Okay, so I'm going to say who my best starting 11 is, So obviously in goal, okay, with the players that we've got, in goal, I'll start with obviously Leno, Runnison, absolute joke. We've just got this new keeper from Brighton on loan, Matt Ryan. Now the problem with Matt Ryan is whether he's going to get another game.
Yeah.
Because we're out of the FA Cup,
Yeah.
Europa League, so maybe. But I reckon Arteta's going to go with Leno in goal. So it'll be Leno in goal. Now, the problem is in terms of my right back. Now, I'm siding now towards Cedric Suarez.
Cedric, okay.
Dennis Suarez, the one that came on loan last season or the season before and was injured. Cedric Suarez as a right back. I felt watching him, I think his all-round game defensively much better than Bellerin. Cross the ball really good. So I would go with Cedric Suarez as right back. Then the centre pairing now. Because obviously with the players that we've got now, I would go with Holding and I was going to go with Pablo Mari because they did do quite well during that period. Pablo Mari and Holding were the two. Oh, listen, yeah, Holding and Pablo Mari, yeah. Left back, obviously Kieran Tierney. Then, because we're playing this 4-2-3-1 formation, I'll go with Thomas Partey alongside Granit Xhaka. Saka on the right side. Smith Rowe in the number 10. Whoa, now this is where it gets tricky.
Yeah.
Tricky. Jeez. Wow. Because Lacazette is on form at the moment, I'd have to go with a Aubameyang on the left. And then
Lacazette up top.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the thing.
So,
yeah. Go on,
so is Pepe out of favour?
72 pence Pepe, yeah.
That man, no, seriously, he needs to go. Yeah? He needs to go, bro, because I've tapped out on him now. Listen,
Really?
Oh, yeah, I've tapped out on him now. I mean, he came on in that game. There's a number of games where he's come on. But not stamped, his authority on that position. He's not staked a claim at all. I just don't know. He just frustrates me. He's a very skillful player, but it's just like he thinks he's playing like on the roads. You know what I mean? He just doesn't do simple things. And I look at Saka and I think he's levels.
Yeah.
Above him. If Pepe could just sort out his end product and keep things simple, and I thought Arteta would have done that with him, but it just doesn't seem to be working. I think I'd move him on personally.
Yeah. So you don't think Arteta's got a good style of play and his match selections is just
his style of play is this pragmatic. He's very pragmatic. Yeah. He's very pragmatic, and I don't. He's obviously then he's telling these players to play out from the back and play this very slow, lethargic, pragmatic. You can tell what's going to happen. I mean, when we was playing in Europa, the game kind of changed a bit. Because you had younger players in there who were willing to take a chance. So I don't get. I don't know if he says to the players, listen, go out and express yourself. But when it comes to the Premier League, you need to be very cautious. Yeah? And so when we're playing out from the back, it's very, very slow. And it's very, very predictable. And what was happening is that, like, Aubameyang was getting basically marked out the game. Because everything was going down the left-hand side. So there was no balance. Now, we've got a balance now. Because now we've got Saka playing on the right. And now back. And so, they can switch it. Yeah. So things are happening. We've got more of a balance there, as far as I'm concerned now. So, yeah, Pepe for me, just not ready. I just don't think he's ready. He'll I don't know where he'll go back to the French league.
Yeah, but I mean, Willian, he's got another year on his contract, so he's sticking around.
Is he? I think we signed him for 3 years. 3
years, isn't it? Yeah.
220,000.
Yeah. Yeah, so you've got him for another 2 more years.
Listen, look, we have been robbed. We have been robbed. I mean, the only difference here is that he's not playing Fortnite on the pitch.
You lot, honestly. So where do you think Arsenal's going to finish then at the end of the season?
Right,
Realistically.
okay. Realistically, anywhere between 8th and 10th.
Wow.
Well, I don't see us making the top 4. And that's why it makes me wonder why he decided to rest so many players in the FA Cup. Throw that. You want a trophy at the end of the season. So maybe he's thinking, well, I'm only 7 points off the top 4. But it's the amount of teams that he's got to leapfrog. And a lot of the teams around him are better than our side right now.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm thinking to myself, I can't see how we're going to make any headways into the top 4. I don't see us getting top 4.
But I mean, you've got to find out. If Aubameyang gets going fully again, it could propel Arsenal and it could make that difference.
I think the key people for us is Thomas Partey, yeah. Saka, Smith Rowe staying fit, yeah. Bringing on the likes of Martinelli, yeah, because he brings that energy to the side. Hoping that Aubameyang finds his shooting boots, and the combination between Aubameyang and Lacazette, because Lacazette is kind of now the informed striker right now. You know what I mean? And then just to make sure, because in terms of our defensive record, it's been quite good as well. But that was when Pablo Mari was linking with Holding. I mean, Pablo's come back, looked a little bit shaky, hasn't been playing for a while because of the COVID and everything. So, and then all the situation with William Saliba going off to knees. I hope when he comes back, it depends. I mean, when he comes back, the summer's going to be interesting. I don't know if we will buy another defender. I don't know why. I don't think we need.
You've got enough defenders. You've got about 7, right?
Our focus will be to get. What I'd love to get, is someone like a Basuma from Brighton.
Brighton, yeah, good player.
If I had him and Thomas Partey, our mix will be totally different. And then I'll think, I'll be there looking at top 4. But right now, as it stands, Saka's not good enough. El Nene is not good enough, and I don't want Partey to be doing 2-man's job. I mean, when I watched him in the Newcastle game when we won 4-0, he was all over the park. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? He's covering. I'm not saying that's his job. That's what he does. Yeah, but why do you have to be covering for Xhaka and people that are out of position? Do you know what I mean? At some point, and he wasn't a sort of player to get injured. He wasn't the sort of player to get injured when he was playing for Atletico Madrid. He didn't really have no injury concerns. He's come to Arsenal, and he's been on the treatment table ever since. So so I think that we will finish. I think we'll finish anywhere between 8th and 10th. I can't see us finishing any higher. I don't know for yourself, Kofi. Where do you think you're going to finish?
We need to get going again. 2nd or 3rd.
Wow. We're going to win it. Wow.
I mean, there's 19 games left for us, so if we get going, we're not going to win 15 games, I don't think. But
wow. Do you know what? Your goalless streak has actually humbled a lot of Liverpool fans. Because Kofi normally is like, we're going to win the league. We're going to win the next game. You have been humbled. Wow.
I mean, check this out. I think it's 5. I think your actual stats is actually 5. They didn't score in 5.
Oh, it's 5. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's humbled. It's definitely humbled Liverpool fans.
It's put things into perspective that things can't always be rosy, and Liverpool really need to back up this scintillating period that they had, and they need to start saying, okay, look, we need to start pushing on, and we need to back the team with newer signings, fresher legs, and let's see where we go. If we don't, then we're going to go back to the old Liverpool.
I would definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I would agree with you on that. And and I think if you do go back to the old Liverpool, Klopp will be saying, I think I've run my course.
Yeah.
And he will just open the doors to Gerrard.
Yeah.
I'm stepping my boots, man.
Yeah. Because you man would finish, remember, you man would finish in 7th, 8th every season.
Yeah, that's the thing. For the first few seasons of Klopp's reign, it was like 7th, 6th, 7th, and
listen, I'll take my hat off to you guys. I mean, listen, you won a Super Cup, you won the league, you won the Champions League. you know, I'll take my hat off to you guys. You know what I mean? So, but it's going to be interesting times going forward now. With you not been buying anybody in the January transfer, you're saying you're probably finish about second or third. I don't know. I think you could possibly finish outside the top four.
I think we're better than that. I think we will pick up a run. Leicester are looking good, but Leicester have got Vardy out. Vardy's injured for some time.
Yeah,
De Bruyne is out. Yeah, so I mean, it could come into play.
And this is the worry because Man United right now are the team in form.
So that's the thing. So I'm thinking, how long are these guys going to be out until they come back into play?
Yeah.
And I mean, we can pick things up. Obviously, a run like this can't go on forever. But you never know.
Did somebody just fall over and faint?
Yeah, exactly.
I heard a bang in the background.
But yeah, I definitely think we'll get going.
Oh no, it's my slippers.
100%. I think we'll get going and we will pick things up.
Okay, fair enough. And David, with Thomas Tuchel coming in, Thomas Tickle.
Yeah.
Where do you think you're going to finish?
I think 5th now with him coming in.
Okay.
I don't think we'll get top 4.
That's very humble of you. That's so humble of you.
Nah, we won't get top 4.
Based on what we spoke about a few months when you spent 220 million, I'm sure you said. Can you just remind me where you said you was going to finish?
Probably top 4, but like I said, most likely top 4.
No, you said. Did he say second? I'm sure you said second or.
All right, okay, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, of course, 222 million spent. Of course, I'm gonna think we're gonna finish second. Yeah, obviously. But no, I think he'll pull things back. We'll finish. I think highest we'll finish is 5th. We won't get top 4. Yeah, and then go for a good Champions League run and hopefully win the FA Cup. That's what I hope. I'll be happy with that.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, listen.
So what was that, Kofi?
It's hard pushing, man.
Hard push. All right. Are you in the cup or?
Sorry.
Who have you got in the next round?
We got Leipzig.
No, or the FA Cup. Who have you got in the next round?
Oh, come on, FA Cup is done.
All right. Okay then. All right. Okay.
We built our pedigree on Champions
You know you better
League.
lose it to Leipzig. You know that, right? Leipzig were going to beat you. Leipzig are knocking you out of the next round. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
I think Leipzig would beat you.
We'll see.
Honestly, I do.
We'll see.
No, I mean, listen, David's taking the mick right now.
I believe Leipzig will beat Liverpool in the next round of Champions League.
Leipzig looks strong, but I think Liverpool got the pedigree to beat them.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, with their attacking, I don't know. It's going to be interesting times ahead.
Indeed.
Listen, guys, really appreciate it. Yeah, theme today. What's going on? What's going on? And going forward, what I want to do, I'm putting you all on the spot right now. Yeah, but you might have to do it on a rota basis. Yeah, on a Monday, for about half an hour or so. Just want to touch on what's going on. Yeah, where the Premier League, how it's going, how it fared over the weekend, how teams fared over the weekend, especially our teams, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal. We obviously focus on them, but because we all have something in common. But it would be nice to just take a quick glance over the weekend to see who's top of the league, who's falling away, who's dropping off, you name it. And so what I want to do is do this weekly, an half-hour thing. So what I'll do is, depending on how we'll do it, if you're both available, then come on. If it's just one, it doesn't matter. We can do it. And we just do it on a rota basis. So there's not too much pressure on both of you. But listen, guys, thank you so much for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
Don't worry about it, boy. The podcast show. Talk all things Premier League, And come on, we need Man United to drop off. And we want the good boys. This is a sad day.
Look, I'm staying faithful. We ride through the storms. We are Liverpool.
Arteta
Sorry,
out.
sorry. Can you just wake me up when he's done, please?
You need water. Get out of here. Get out of here. All right, guys, really,
Thanks, Normsy.
I do appreciate it. Take it easy.
All right.
Take care. Yeah. All right,
Bye.
later.
Bye.